again, this thing shoots a 308 caliber, so this is a pretty hefty round that goes through this thing. And this muzzle brake does an excellent job at maintaining the stability and the recoil of this rifle. Is it like shooting a 5.56? No, it's not. Is it like shooting a 308? It's not like shooting a 308 either. It does a heck of a job to reduce the recoil and keep the gun level as you're shooting it. Especially in such a lightweight rifle. I think this rifle weighs in at maybe just over 7 pounds. This is a piston-driven version. They do make a DI version, so this one's a little bit heavier than the DI. But I opted for the piston version. So anyway, that's that about the muzzle brake. The other thing is they've got a fluted barrel on this, which is nice. It also will help to dissipate some of the heat. Measuring it wise, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but anytime you can add more surface area to something, by fluting it or whatever, you can. I do know that you can help get rid of the heat in that way. Barrel nut, same thing. This has got one heck of a barrel nut on it, and it's fluted as well, all the way around. And I don't quote me. I'm not going to attempt to tell you how many, what the surface area is on this. You have to look it up, but it is phenomenally. Can't talk. It is a lot more surface area than your average barrel nut for your typical AR. Then see, I've got some notes here. And the other thing that they've done, it's called E-square chambering, and you can see it's got a little picture right there of the little E square. So what that is inside the chamber there are 4 little grooves inside the chamber that run along the side of the casing, and when the cartridge is fired, the gases, and they've got videos on this, you can go look, the gases supposedly when they come back, they go through those little grooves in that chamber and help release the cartridge from the chamber with ejection. Is it scientifically proven? Again, I don't know. I mean, but it makes sense. It does make sense. Doesn't seem like something you would just add just to add. Their theory on this really makes sense. And I fired over 1,000 rounds in this thing so far. I've never had one ejection issue at all, period. Not one. It's worked fine. The other thing I like about this rifle are the ambi controls on this. The cool thing about that for me is because, again, I hate to mention this again, but I am currently in hospice care. When I bought this gun in mind, when I had this gun in mind, I wanted to leave something to my son. I'm a right-handed shooter. My son is a left-handed shooter. So having the ambidextrous controls on this rifle will be pertinent to him in a few months' time when this gun belongs to him. And he shot it, and he loves it too. I think it'll make him a very fine. I know it'll make him a fine rifle. But that's another reason why I thought it'd make a good gift for him after I go. Also, it's got a bolt catch here. It is unloaded, of course. I've got the bolt carrier group out. It's got a bolt catch under here. that when you pull the charging handle back, you can push this up and it automatically, you can push that up and it'll hold the bolt carrier group back for you. So you don't have, you can do it all with one hand, which is nice, well, with the exception of pulling your charging handle back to your left hand. But very handy, very, very handy. Great idea. Love it. It works great. That's another thing they incorporated in this thing that I haven't seen on any other rifle. Now, to the bolt carrier itself, this is something that for me, I don't know why. Up until now, no one ever thought about this. They have put this down just for a second. POF have put a roller cam pin in their bolt carrier. And I got to looking at this and thinking about this, and I thought to myself, you know, why is this not a standard in every AR platform ever made? I mean, it's a bearing. It rolls. Common sense is going to tell you it's going to reduce friction. And when you reduce friction, anything you can do to reduce friction and heat, what's it going to do? It's going to last longer. It's going to last, which is what I'm about. I'm about things lasting longer. Again, from my furniture building days, that was my goal. I wanted to make antiques. I wanted to make things that I made to be handed down generations to generations. This little dude here, a simple little bearing. Why is that not standard? I don't know. It boggles my mind, but it should be. Great idea. Great idea. The charging handle, they have various charging handles that the POF does. But this is the one that comes with it. It's also an ambidextrous charging handle. It works great. It's flawless. I forget what type of aluminum this is made out of, but it's really, really good quality. And I'm not having any problem out of it whatsoever. The trigger itself is a really decent trigger. I think it breaks, I want to say maybe 3.5 pounds maybe. But it's just a sweet, crisp trigger. It's single stage. You can get 2-stage triggers for it. They're drop in. They have the anti-walk pins, both sides. But there's hardly any take-up at all. I really don't even feel any take-up hardly whatsoever in it. Really easy to get on target. The gun, you know, this is not a video where I'm going to talk about, you know, the accuracy of the gun or whatever so much more. I mean, there are plenty of accurate guns. This is one of them. This is a 1-minute gun at 100 yards easily, even with my old eyes shooting it. It could be better with someone else behind the trigger. I'm not a sniper. But this gun will definitely do what you need it to do. You know, so my talking points are going to be more about the value you get and the quality you get in the rifle versus the accuracy. The accuracy is definitely there. I mean, that speaks for itself. And then we go back to the stock here, the minimalist stock, which I love. I don't like a big bulky stock. This thing is nice. It's small, compact, it's out of the way. You got, I think, 6 positions on it. But it's just all around a good quality rifle. There is a video that I would encourage you to watch on these. It's not on the Revolution, not on this particular model itself. However, just to give you an idea of what these guns are capable of and how they'll last. I mean, as far as torture tests go, I watched Daniel Defense torture test a gun where I think they threw it off the back of the truck once. They ran over it with the Jeep. They threw it in the water, you know, just the miscellaneous stuff. And they would shoot it to see if it still shot. And, you know, I think the only thing that broke on it was the optic. And, you know, big success. They was all patting each other on the back and everything. Okay. Well, there's a torture test on YouTube. You got to check it out. If you haven't seen it yet, it's really something to watch. The YouTube channel is Iraq Veteran 8888. It's IV 8888, I think, or it might be spelled Iraq Veteran 8888. I don't know. But anyway, they take a POF, Patriot Ordnance Factory Model 415, I believe it is. I think it's a pistol version. Shooting 5.56. It is a piston gun, like this one. It's not a direct impingement. And they do what's called a meltdown of this gun, where it is an actual torture test. They take a machine gun lower, and then they take the upper from POF, the 415 upper, and they send rounds down range through it, one right after the other, nonstop, just as fast as they can throw a magazine in it, from 30 round magazines to 100 round drum.